One of the 8 introverted myers-briggs personality types, INFJs, are recognized for their contemplation, insight, and strong emotions. They often have deep inner lives and a high degree of intuition, which are both the strengths and weaknesses. One difficulty they encounter in the world is the perception that they are alone in the world, and no one can possibly understand what they're going through. But why do so many INFJs feel like they're destined to be lonely? Welcome to the Better Human Academy. In today's video, we will talk about 10 reasons why INFJs are destined to be alone. Make sure you watch all the way through because we brought you some potential challenges INFJs personality type face. Number 10. They lack aggression. Because of their introversion, their desire to avoid conflict, and their sensitivity to the needs and feelings of others, INFJs may struggle to be aggressive. They may have difficulty setting firm limits with others and communicating their own demands and boundaries. An INFJ's decision-making skills may be challenged with what they're presented with a number of alternatives, or when their values seem to be at odds with one another. If an INFJ is worried about upsetting other people, they may have trouble communicating their demands and setting limits. For INFJs, communicating their demands and setting boundaries can be a source of anxiety and uncertainty. Number 9. They're sensitive to criticism. It's possible that INFJs are easily hurt by criticism because they have such a robust sense of self and tend to take things personally. They may have difficulty believing in themselves and react negatively to constructive criticism. They may feel like they failed if they hear criticism because they put so much pressure on themselves to achieve well, and they're so introspective and perfectionistic about everything they do. Remembering that criticism is a natural and inevitable aspect of life is not always a reflection of one's value or ability to help INFJs avoid being isolated from others. Make sure to watch until the end, as we'll be sharing one of the most important reasons why INFJs are destined to be alone. Number 8. They're indecisive. Because of their introversion, the tendency to weigh all potential outcomes, and pursuit of perfection, INFJs may struggle to make snap judgments. They may have difficulty deciding between alternatives or balancing completing priorities. Since INFJs care deeply about the options and feelings of others, they may find it difficult to make decisions that disappoint those they care about. They may have difficulty advocating for themselves and for their needs, and they may have a tendency to put the needs of others before their own. Number 7. They struggle with expressing emotions. Because of their introversion and reluctance to show their emotions, INFJs can sometimes have trouble communicating how they really feel. They might not be able to articulate their feelings or worry about that they're too complicated or vague to convey. Since INFJs care deeply about their happiness and well-being of those around them, they may find it difficult to express their own sentiments for fear of upsetting or burdening those around them. Number 6. They struggle with finding the right career path. Due to their introversion, inclination to weigh pros and disadvantages, and search for purpose in work, INFJs may have difficulty settling in on a single job path. It's possible they're having trouble picking a path or finding work that speaks to who they are or what they care about. As they are more often concerned with assisting others and advertising themselves, INFJs may struggle to promote themselves or their job. For this reason, INFJs might find it difficult to thrive in a hostile or disorganized setting. It may be challenging for INFJs to find a job that they enjoy because it doesn't necessarily correspond with their values or interests. Number 5. They struggle with time management. Time management can be challenging for INFJs because of their introversion, their preference for contemplating and analysis, and their drive for perfection. They may have trouble prioritizing, saying no, and keeping to a schedule. When INFJs take on too much, they can feel overwhelmed since they have a hard time setting boundaries and saying no to others. If an INFJ is a perfectionist or likes to plan everything out in advance, they may have trouble getting started on a project. Time management can be challenging for INFJs because of their propensity to let their emotions and stress get the better of them. Make sure to check out the rest of the videos on our channel, like and comment on this video, and remember to subscribe to never miss a video. Number 4. They lack self-confidence. Because of their social anxiety, tendency to avoid conflict, and sensitivity to the needs and feelings of others, INFJs may have trouble advocating for themselves. They may have difficulty setting clear boundaries with others and expressing their own needs and limits. In times of disagreement or opposition, INFJs may have difficulty communicating their needs and setting clear limits. As a result, their empathy and willingness to put the needs of others before their own, INFJs might sometimes have trouble advocating for themselves. Self-confidence isn't always strong for INFJs, and they may have trouble speaking out for themselves. Number 3. They get overwhelmed easily. The INFJ's loneliness, inclination to have a lot going on inside, and sensitivity to needs and feelings of others can make them susceptible to feelings of being overwhelmed. They may feel overwhelmed by their responsibilities and commitments and have trouble controlling their emotions and tension. Since INFJs have difficulty with boundaries and rejection, they may take on too much and become exhausted. It's possible that INFJs' inability to set priorities and stick to deadlines contributes to their tendency to feel overwhelmed. Often, INFJs experience burnout because they place too much pressure on themselves to do everything flawlessly. Number 2. They struggle with change. Since INFJs are introverted, love regularity, and give much thought to their actions, it's possible they have trouble adapting to new situations. They may struggle to adjust to novel circumstances, and they may experience anxiety or uncertainty when change is introduced. When faced with a number of choices or contemplating priorities, an INFJ may struggle to make a choice. When INFJs stress over how change affects those around them, they may often feel it difficult to accept it. An INFJ's comfort level in novel situations is likely to be low, and they may experience anxiety or doubt when thrust into unfamiliar situations. Some INFJs have difficulty adapting to change and staying in control with their feelings and stress levels. Number 1. They struggle with socializing. Because of their social anxiety, their need for privacy, and their empathy for others, INFJs may struggle in social situations, and they could find it hard to strike up conversations with strangers, and exhausting or overwhelming to be in a huge, noisy gathering of people. Individuals like the INFJ personality type may find it difficult to engage in superficial discussions and instead gravitate to those that delve into more profound topics. If an INFJ is constantly worried about how people will react to them, they may have trouble interacting with others and end up alone. It's common for INFJs to struggle with social anxiety and stress management. It's important to remember that every individual is unique and may experience different challenges or difficulties based on their personal experiences and circumstances.